The reality is that Raja will only get 1 to 2 years in prison because he's a first-time offender, I believe. I think he is, yeah. But just wanted to clarify, as I saw a legal mindset say he could get 6, but that's wrong. 10 max. I'm just getting a lot of people messaging me saying things like he'll get about 2 or 3. That's what I'm hearing. Because he's a person of influence, there are other ways to like sentence him that don't include prison time. Like community service, you know, doing like messages to his streams, and there's ways that he can leverage his position of influence to avoid more jail time is what I'm hearing. Which is why he won't get a 10. 10 would be for someone who has no influence and just did this anyway. That's what I'm hearing. As shit as a 2-year sentence is, imagine being surrounded by society's worst 24/7, 730 days. I'd probably KMS. No cap, maybe low IQ helps survivability. Yeah. Honestly. I mean, I wouldn't, I don't know what I'd do if I was in jail. That is so... I honestly think, chat, if you do something... Now, speech laws in the UK aside, if you genuinely do like a proper crime, like a real crime, not a UK crime to like submit the nation that is having a gag reflex to what's happening to it. If you have like a legit crime, you're gay, I think. Because why would you do something, unless it's going to change your life to pull off this crime, why would you do something that's going to put you in an environment where you're surrounded by only men for the next few years? You gotta be gay, right? I would never do something like that. Imagine really like doing something thinking if I get caught, I'm going to be in jail with men only for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 10 years. Like honestly, it's very, very strange. I don't know why anyone would do that unless they are gay secretly, which might be why prisoners, you know, end up being gay so much. Or they don't have a brain, true. That's also a thing. At this point, impression of Conor bumping in, I've already read it. Impression... If anyone at this point says Khabib's better than and would beat Islam, is that a blatant cope trying to be different? Who would win that in your opinion? I think you can argue that he's better than Makhachev at this point. I didn't think that before the Poirier fight. But since his title fights, like Makhachev is very human compared to Khabib, right? So you could argue Khabib's better than him, but I don't think you can argue that he would beat him. That's my argument. I think Makhachev would beat Khabib, but I think Khabib had a more effective style at lightweight. Even though they're both champ. Khabib was a lot more dominant, right? In his fights with Poirier and Gaethje. And, you know, Makhachev hasn't fought Gaethje. But the top contenders that he faced, you know. But then again, Khabib never fought a guy with a ground game. So, it's kind of tricky, you know. It's tricky to call. Because Oliveira was coming up. It was like the perfect antidote to like a Khabib style. And then he just left because he's a bitch. Hot take, Gene Silver could still beat Volk. Diego has taken bombs from Gene, and I don't know if Volk could take the same shots. Let me know what you think. Thank you for the 11 months of membership, dude. I appreciate you. Diego has taken bombs from Gene, and I don't know if Volk could take the same shots. Let me know what you think. He could. Yeah, he could beat Volk, but we don't know because we don't know what level he's at. I would argue, chat, in my honest opinion, yes or... I know Fiziev's out. I know he is. Chat, yes or no, I would argue in my honest opinion, Gene Silver is so fucking open to low kicks, his leg would be dead within 2 rounds against Volk. So unless he finished Volk in the first, I don't know. I think Lopez moves a lot better on the back foot than Volk. I think he's a lot more elusive. I think Volk moves a lot more better on the back foot than Lopez. I think he's a lot more elusive than Lopez, and much harder to hit than Lopez, much better on the counter than Lopez. And he's way better at low kicking, which is Gene's biggest problem in his game, in my opinion. He's so open to low kicks. All of those data scientists, say Joe Rogan, couldn't figure out that. Dude's way too heavy on his lead leg. All-time favorite MMA quote, mine is Tony Ferguson. Shut up before I ankle pick you. Insane confidence. Yeah, insane. I think he kind of knew that Verdum couldn't really understand him, though, which is why he started speaking up like that. Based Tony, very high intellect move there. What's my favorite MMA reference? I have so many, man. I couldn't even pick one. You know? All-time MMA quote. There is so many, man. I also like, I'm going to beat you in a living death. When Shamrock was threatening Tito Ortiz or some shit. Nobody ever. Yeah, there's a few. I have so many ticks from MMA. I have so many ticks from everything, though. I always end up just saying some random thing. Certain words said in a certain way just really hit my fucking brain a certain way. It could be some random YouTube short. Even the, I lost it. I lost the original sheath. For some reason, that just hits a frequency in my brain and it just stays there forever. But yeah. People forget, man. Matthew McConaughey putting his feet on Rogan's desk, Bully Aspinall style. Well, I tell you this. I can't do it with Matthew McConaughey. All right. You know, sometimes you gotta look back. You gotta really break things down. And what you want to do is, when you're making this casserole, you want to put some nice diced onions in there. And my father used to tell me, you know, the fronts are for this, and he has that type of thing going on. Old Matthew McConaughey, doesn't he? Thank you for the $2, Orion. I appreciate the $2. Not bad. Yeah, I've never tried a McConaughey impression. That was pretty alright, I guess, for a first time. Thank you for the 2, Orion. I've done alright. A little Texas whistle in your voice. A lot of stuff like that. Got to make sure when you're making a casserole, best kind of casserole has been left in the fridge. And that's how it goes. Thank you for the 2. If you know the results, you would know what to bet on. Impression of Ngannou and McConaughey bonding over motorcycles. I just like to try hit people with them. See, what you want to do is you want to take it a little step back. You got to take a little step back to the whole thing. Why you talk like this to me? Just speak normal. No, you got to take a little step back. You want what you need to do. I need you to unwind. I need you to unwind a little bit. Because what you're doing is you're being very hateful. All right. I don't know. Thank you for the 2. Some shit like that. You're literally Lord of the Flies, Asmongold. There's one a day and it's dead now. So hopefully that's it. Impression of Paddy after Molly does a horrid shot. Yes, Molly, lad. Let me breathe it in, lad. Do you believe Conor versus Chandler's happening? No, I don't. I won't believe it till I see it. Impression of DC and Conor hanging weights on Uriah's chin. Let me just hang that off the end of your chin, yeah? Shake that around. That'll be similar. Conor, what are you doing in here? Ian Gary, what the fuck are you doing in here? I thought you were D for a second. No, I'm D. And I'm Ian. But which one of you's the real fucking D Devlin, though? Come on, Conor, you know me. One of you's named me birthday or something. Oh, fuck. Neither of us know that. It's like one of those movie scenes. Hi, bro. What do you reckon? What you reckon to upcoming cards next few weeks? Which one you most hyped for? UFC Perth. Let's just call it what it is, chat. Yes or no? UFC Perth is just outright fucking weak. Very, very weak. UFC 320 is very good. I love that card. It looks great. It's alright. It's an alright card. It's a decent card. Patchy mix on the early prelims, you know. That's tough. So that's that. Then Oliveira Fiziev. Oliveira Fiziev's a solid card, man. Davison Figueiredo, Montel Jackson. Oh, I got it then. That's good. Nice. Figueiredo, Montel Jackson, Janata Deniz, Mario Pinto, Vicente Luque is on the card. That's some decent fights on the card. Phil Ho, Carpenter, Bonfirm, Browns cancelled now, but Walter Walker's on the card. Yeah, some decent ones. Probably 320, man. Country plays cricket for world money. You play housing for work. Country plays cricket for world money. You play housing for work. Country plays cricket. Yeah, my country would just spend all of their human resources playing cricket if we had no fighting ability as well, mate. When you can't succeed in any other athletic endeavour, no shit you're all good at cricket. It's the shittest, most least athletic sport in the world. You got to find something you're good at. If you want Raja arrested, make him tweet in London. In the UK, our cricketers are drunk. That's how little they care. We literally have cricketers drinking beer in between the fucking games and shit like that and eating fucking sandwiches and shit. They're fat. You know what I mean? It's literally a hobby for them and they're still competing with you lot. Name your cat's normal names like Raja and the other one Jackson. I feel like, chat, yes or no, cats should have Napoleonic English names. I don't know why it works, but cats, I think, make sense to have those names. Like, if I see a cat called Wellington or Nelson or something like that, or Humphrey or Murphy or something like that, like, it just makes sense to me, that's all. You know? Chester. Yeah, these names, you know, Chester, you know, these names. It just makes sense. Not Gertrude, no. Wilfred. Yeah, Wilfred the cat. Little grey cat, Wilfred. You know what I mean? Or Tom. Yeah, exactly. Tom. Elegant cats. Yeah, it's because they're elegant. Yeah, exactly. Sort of like it gives them some kind of like class to match their attitude, you know? Not Engelbert Humperdinck, whatever that is. Reginald, yeah. Reggie. Ollie. Yeah, if you name like an old English name, typically you think, it's like a cat's name. Thank you for the 2. Breaking, Brian Ortega makes weight 4 weeks after his fight. Ugh, what a fucking... You know what Brian Ortega is, chat? They've been using this as like a statement recently. It's like a man that does something purely for the image of it, like a something male, a theatrical demonstrational, something like that. Or something like that. I don't know. UFC press conferences. Hey, it's John. Great event, Dana. I just want to know how events keep getting better. TKO boxing press conferences. Explain yourself, Dana, and I'm not going anywhere until you do. True. Very true. Thank you for the $10. Cali is all about money. Rampage's streams and kick lawyers going to get Raja community services, especially if it's his first crime. He'll have some time, I think, but yeah, a lot of it will be community service and message and a stream dedicated to this, where the donations are dedicated to people that have suffered from this. It will be something like that. That's what I'm hearing. If it's his first time, and Raja will stream his community service on Kick, 25% donos, yeah, to the community. Thank you for the $10. I could see it. Ank versus Pereira 2 winner, and why? I think Ank. Ank versus Pereira 2 winner, and why? I think Ank. Yeah, mate. Thank you for the 2. I think Ank as well. I just feel like it's way less likely that Pereira is going to stuff every takedown again, you know? There will be one, and if there's one, I think it'll be trouble. But I hope it's Poatan. I really hope it is. He did land some good low kicks in the first. Poatan is hungry this time like an eagle. True. Very true. Yeah, Jihad Mohammed, at this point, I don't even think you're a real person, so I'm just banning you, you bot. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I mean, you're just a bot, bruv, so I'm just getting you out. No bots allowed in chat. Spamming the whole stream. Useless fucking shit. Go shit in a street somewhere, brother. And enrich it. Khamzat wants to be on this on the White House card. We can't let this happen. Thank you. He's just rage baiting. I know, but I can't be asked. Just floods the chat. Khamzat wants... UFC is getting to international hard to care now. No, I don't mind international. I think that's what it's all about, you know. But yeah, I think the international fighters from that region are like pussies the way they fight compared to us. So that is the bad part of it. But I like the competition. I think we should raise to that level and smoke them out of sport, man. Knock them the fuck out of sport. That's how I see it. But yeah, those people from that region are pussies. No warrior culture, no gladiator culture, no nothing, no nothing. So I said no nothing twice. So they just would rather hold against the cage and neither thigh. I mean, there'd be Western fighters who would fucking end their career if they had a performance like that, you know? Never want to win that way. If you're making it look like Covington's pushing for a finish, you're probably not doing that good. Worst hard sparring story starting in MMA combat. Guru, am I the only one who doesn't want Conor in the White House? When he's the main event, Dana doesn't feel the need to make a great card. I want to see a truly special card from top to bottom. Yeah, I know. But I don't know if Conor will be the main event. If they can have a big title fight, I feel like McGregor won't be the main event. So we shall see. How Conor is going to be main card. Put my dick away. How Conor's going to be main card. He'll be main card. I don't know where on the card, but it just depends on the matchup above him, you know. Like there will be... He has to make way for others, just straight up, you know. He has to make way for others. Because he's not the man anymore, you know, and you do have to have the pinnacle of the sport at the top. So if they can do a Makhachev to Puria, or if they can have a Jones versus Aspinall, or a Aspinall Pereira, or anything along those lines, then it'd be much better at the top of the White House card than Conor McGregor's. Chael's whole story was peak. It was. Remember when Dominic Cruz video about the Whopper Jr.? Yeah, they were legendary stories. I mean, that's where Chael missed out. I think he sort of like steered away from the the what's it called? Like, he had this moment at one point where he was telling all of the behind-the-scenes stories, but eventually there's no more behind-the-scenes stories. So, you know, I'm not trying to hear Chael's predictions, but I am trying to hear some, like, really cool, you know, thing. Backstory, something I didn't know before. Once you get updated on all the secret lore, then, I don't know, it loses its sting. Remember your beef with McKinney? Apparently he's cool with me now, so we'll see. I ain't cool with him. Nah, joking. Bygones be bygones. He only tried to threaten my family's well-being. Or the guy who ran his channel did, who was Welsh, apparently. Maybe that's who it was. I could see that, though. It's pretty dumb of him to do. I could have ruined him for that, so I don't know. I could see it being the guy who ran his channel at some point. What medium are you considering? Acrylic, watercolor, poo? Bro, you in Khamzat's tweet? I know Khamzat went after me. Yeah, I saw. Do I make a video about it? I guess I could get a video later saying something like Chimaev roasted me or something like that. And then mix it in with a bunch of other MMA news. But it needs other MMA news, you know?
If it gets to round 3, 4, 5, it's going to be a problem. It probably won't get to round 5. I say round 3 or 4, DDP. But if Khamzat's going to win.
So, with all that being said, who do I have winning between DDP taking on a Khamzat Chimaev? I'm going to have to go DDP, just because I feel DDP is spot the best of the division.
All right, so I am going with Drickus. You guys are going to see the first round, maybe even the second.
Shout out to Drickus du Plessis for doing the interview. I'm going with Khamzat Chimaev, folks. No, I'm joking. I'm going with Drickus du Plessis.
Absolute dogfight.
Why do I want... Dude, I guess I am in the scene, but it's still weird to have all the MMA fighters actually editing stuff of me. What am I supposed to do with no UFC today, Piggy? You watch my stream and we sit here and have fun together. Khamzat about a pit-pat decision you in these streets? Nah, dude. You know what, chat? Hey, Guru, appreciate your YouTube activity. Thank you very much, dude. I appreciate that. You think Zabit could beat Merab? Thank you, Leonardo. Appreciate you, brother. You think Zabit could beat Merab? Maybe, yeah, Zabit could beat Merab, but I'd imagine that he would gas the fuck out if he didn't finish him early. And his finishing potential wasn't that great. Chat, who's ready to hear something crazy? I'm not giving any information. Okay? I'm not giving any information. But given the current situation, my combat sports training has begun. Okay? I'm doing it all, boys. All right, guys? Little announcement. I'm not giving any more information than that because I want to be able to enjoy this without any level of interference. My combat sports training has begun. Okay? And I've been training for the past week. So, or 2. So much so that I was feeling sick from it. But I'm getting into it. I'm not trying to be in the UFC. I'm not trying to be an MMA fighter. I'm just trying to be unjumpable by dumb animals. Because with my fucking build, if I know how to really fight, chat, yeesh! Everybody's in trouble. So I've been getting into it. Shut your big ass up. Well, at least you acknowledge I'm huge. Paddy holding a vape in a new video needs to lock in. What? Which martial art? I don't want to, I'm doing a mixture of things, chat, let's just say. I don't want any interference on this. I want to be able to enjoy this without any, like, pestering or anyone getting after me or anything like that. So, yeah, that's how it's going. Patchy Mix lost all of his aura and now live. Guru, you might get Charlie Kirk at your MMA gym. I won't. Who's to say it's an MMA gym, dude? No, let's not narrow it down. No, yeah. I'm doing MMA. Mighty Lard today. Thank you for the $2. Thank you for the £2. I don't think Chimaev roasted you. He put me in his little clip of all the monkeys that were wrong. So he technically did, right? If you had to eat out one female fighter, who? No, I'm good. Impression of Nick Fuentes. Who you got for Yuri versus Khalil? I've got Yuri. Thank you for the 3. What did Chimaev say? He just lumped me in with a bunch of other people and he called us all monkeys. For our predictions. So he kind of roasted me, I guess. But he edited a video with me in it and stuff with my prediction. Who you got for Yuri versus Khalil? Yuri Prokayev. Where's the outrage over Khamzat calling you a monkey? I know, right? Thank you for the $2. I know. But I expect reactions to behaviors based on expectations, and they have no expectations on his behavior. They only have expectations on my behavior because they consider me human. And that's the truth. That is the truth about cancel culture.